Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Around the World in 80 Stays. I'm your host, Sean Keen. I'm here today with Lucy Hernandez. And as always, I'm going to let our guest introduce herself and where she went.
Hello, everyone. I'm very excited to be here. My name is Lucy Hernandez. I'm currently a senior at the University of Iowa. I'm studying psychology and majoring and minoring in human relations, and I interned in Tokyo, Japan.
Tokyo, Japan. I've been waiting to do Tokyo. I've been waiting to do Japan. Talk to us first and foremost why interning abroad, but then also why you chose Japan, and then what you were interning.
So I chose interning because I did not want to be gone for too long, and I wanted to stay on campus for my semesters. And honestly, those 2 months were like the perfect amount of time to get that experience or to get like into that culture. And then
No, you were saying you wanted to do the internship because it was a good amount of time, but why Japan though?
oh, okay, yeah. That's a good question. I chose Japan. I didn't really have a country in mind, to be honest. I chose Japan at the end because it was like random for me because I don't really know anything about like Japanese culture, and it was just like something completely different. And I kind of wanted to make myself, this sounds weird, but I wanted to make myself feel uncomfortable to like know that I could be thrown into a situation and figure it out, which I did. But it was I'm glad I chose Japan because I learned a lot and got to see their culture and their work life. It is very different from here.
Well, I think I want to say first and foremost, I appreciate you going in with the mindset of being like, I want to be I want to be uncomfortable in my situation, but also see how it's going to make me grow. Because that's the biggest thing that I feel after my studying abroad is how uncomfortable I was in so many situations and seeing how I grew from it. It's hard to put that into perspective a lot of times to tell other people. Like, we're here right now trying to tell other people
Yeah.
what it's like, but I think that's one of the more personal aspects of the study abroad experience
Hmm.
is if you put yourself in a situation to be uncomfortable and to be the foreigner, to be the outsider,
Yeah.
and how you respond to it, I think there's really only positive growth that comes from that.
Yeah, and like it can be scary and like embarrassing at times because you like don't know what's going on, especially if you don't know the language, which I didn't know anything. I also do want to say if you want to learn Japanese, I do not recommend Duolingo because it taught me like informal Japanese. So when I got there, it was like the stuff that it taught me was correct, but it was informal and it was kind of seen as rude, which I didn't know, but I quickly changed that. I quickly figured it out. So,
My friend, so first and foremost, this episode goes out to my great friend Brett Whitney because he studied abroad in Japan twice. He does not go to the University of Iowa, but he kind of put me on game on a lot of Japanese stuff. And he said, when it comes to learning Japanese, you got to learn three different alphabets and Chinese in order to understand it. And he's picked it up definitely along the way. He did a host family living experience, so I think that helped him. But like you said, it's such a daunting task. But at the same time, when you're in Tokyo, it's kind of easy because everybody goes to Tokyo, so there's
mhm.
English. But talk about, and we'll get to like your internship
Mhm.
and work, but just because we're talking about it in general, what were some times where you didn't have good access to like being able to translate anything, or you said, oh shoot, I might have to break out the Japanese? Or did you have any experiences like that where it wasn't as apparent that, hey, I could get language services or translations?
Yeah, so it was mainly like at restaurants that I had trouble like, ordering food. But the good thing about Japan is a lot of places have like a QR code that you scan on your phone and you can order through your phone and like someone will bring it out to you or like a robot thing will bring it out to you. So that was really really nice, but it was definitely like at restaurants where I felt kind of like intimidated because I didn't know how to answer or order what I wanted, so I just had to point, which, worked out at the
The
end.
universal language, we all know how to
Yeah,
point.
so that worked out pretty well for me. I also got a haircut.
Yes, I was going to ask about that.
Yes. It was good, like, the haircut I mean, I didn't personally like the length that I ended up with, so the whole time in Japan, my hair was just, like, really short and my bangs were really short, but, it was really hot, so I was like, "Okay, whatever." But I don't know if they put something in my hair that, like, made my hair, like, really frizzy. But yeah, it was, a different experience, but the guy that cut my hair, he was really nice and was talking about how he wants to go to New York, and I was like, "Never been, but I know it's pretty cool." So it was nice to, like, have things in common, or, like, he knew stuff about the US and he was teaching me stuff about Japan. So, yeah.
I want to get a haircut in Japan so, so badly. I told my family, I said, look, I'm going to get like really scruffy and scraggly looking before I go to Japan so that I can go there, get the full barbering service. I want everything for that because um, I've found that a good thing to calm me down sometimes when I get really stressed
Mhm.
is I'll watch Japanese haircutting videos because it's
Mm.
just, I don't know, it's so relaxing. The vibes seem really good. And I mean, I probably could get the exact same thing from any ethnicity, culture, race of barber, but it's the Japanese
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
specifically. Everybody says you got to get the haircut in Japan.
Yeah.
So that's first thing up. I'm glad you got one.
Yeah. Yeah. I wasn't actually planning on it, but my friend that I made over there, she was like, "Oh, like, I wanna get a haircut." I'm like, "Well, I mean, my split ends are really split, so let's get a haircut together," but my hair grew out pretty fast, so I'm okay with it.
You're talking about stuff putting in your hair that made you frizzy too. I remember when I was in Paris this summer, I didn't bring any of my product with me because my hair was really short. And so I said, oh, it'll be fine because by the time it grows back, then I'll start needing to use product, but I'll be back home.
Mhm.
But the water there
Mhm.
frizzed my hair
Yeah.
like crazy. And I had it short again, like I knew it was coming. I didn't want to have to mess with it. But when I put the water in, it was really frizzy or or my curls were really tight, like
Ooh.
insanely tight. And it every day was different. It was either I looked like I had a balloon rubbed on top of my head or like just these tight, tight curls. And I have pictures of both from like 2 days apart. It was the same thing, and it was crazy. So I guess for anyone listening, you gotta be careful when you're going abroad because you never know what the water or the products are
Yes.
gonna do to your hair.
Yes, and, like, speaking of products, I didn't bring, like, hairspray or anything like that. I don't know why. I just guess I just didn't think I thought I was gonna buy it over there, which, makes sense, but I didn't realize that a lot of the stuff is different, which obviously, but so I had to do a lot of, like, which product's better, and then I have to Google Translate obviously is, like, your best friend, so I had to, like, sit there or stand there and, like, scan everything and see which one was better. But I ended up finding good my hairspray and my frizz stuff, but my hair was still frizzy. Like, it was so frizzy after I showered. And yeah, I didn't even remember that. The water was something to
You know
keep
what?
that.
If you're going to Japan, careful of the hair frizz, especially.
Mhm.
I remember you were talking about different products that you were having to go get. When I was studying in Spain, again, it was a summer program, and I was going to bring a small thing of like shave gel, and they threw it out at TSA. I'm like, why'd you throw it out? It's within regulation. It's
Mhm.
fine. But they threw it out, and I was like, ah, dang it. How am I gonna get shave gel there? And we were scouring the
Right.
pharmacies in our town for shave gel. I'm like, it can't be that uncommon of a
Yeah.
product. Surely not. We eventually did find a bottle, but it was huge and it was the only one they had. And I had to pay 14 euros for it. And I only used it
Mm.
maybe 3 times. And I was so upset about that. But I
Yeah.
do know the pharmacy experience of take whatever you can from the US within legal TSA terms, but
Mhm.
also it's a rite of passage to be sitting there with your phone
Yeah.
scanning everything in the
Yeah.
pharmacy looking for the exact products that you need.
Yeah, so yeah, I would definitely, like, if you have specific products, take them with you. Bring it because you probably won't find it. You may find something better, but you don't know.
You don't know what it's going to do to
Yeah.
you.
So that's something I would bring, and honestly, I, like, didn't bring, like, 2 months worth of, like, cause I would put them in, like, travel containers, you know?
Mhm.
So that ended quickly. I had to get, like, moisturizer over there. So but, it's okay, cause like, they had, like, Koreatown, so I went to
Yeah.
Koreatown, and I went to get, like, like, face what's it called? Face care?
Face masks,
Yeah, all that
skincare.
stuff. Skincare, that's what I yeah. Which was nice, and I still use it, cause it was actually really good. So
Well, we had Leela Sadi on here talking about her time in South Korea, and that was a
mhm.
little portion of our conversation was about K beauty products and the
Mhm.
what's it called, like Olive Beauty or something like that, and how it was just huge amounts of the products. That was a big time deal. But I think, again, going back to using your phone in the
Yeah.
pharmacy, I think that's a Google Pixel or a Samsung commercial where they have these women who are in like a K beauty shop, or they're in like a K pharmacy or something, and they're using their phone to translate what product is best for this, what product is
Mhm.
best for this. But they did say that the Korean beauty products, the skincare products, that's the best in the game.
Yeah, it was and I knew that, like, going in, like, everyone talks about how good Korean skincare was, and I was like, "Okay, well, I'm literally here, and they literally have, like, Korean shops. I'm going to go and get all I can."
I mean, Korea is only a couple miles away
Yeah,
anyway,
I
so
know, and, like, I couldn't believe how close I was to, like, South Korea, North Korea, and, like, China, and, like, all that. I did really wanna go to China, but 'cause it was just so close, but I didn't.
China is a place that I would like to be able to have. Give me 2 to 3 months, and I want to explore every corner of
Yeah.
China, because I would feel the same thing of like, "Oh, China's right there," but I
Yeah,
wouldn't wanna sell myself short and just go to Beijing for a weekend, you know?
exactly. Yeah, yeah, it wouldn't be worth it. I mean, yeah, it would, but
Yeah, it's there, but
yeah,
that is the great debate of figuring out what countries, okay, what do I need to go to and go see,
yeah.
versus what do I think I'll come back to? And we'll get to your other travels later, but
Oh,
I want to talk about your internship because you were
yes.
going to intern, not necessarily to find Korean beauty products in Japan.
Yeah,
Um,
although I was really excited about that.
yeah, so you have to go, you have to do it.
Yeah,
So talk to us about your internship, what you were doing, and then who you were working with.
yes. So I was a recruitment assistant intern at a recruiting. Well, it was the company was called Yuruki Switch Group, which is basically schools across Japan. They have like 2,000 schools across Japan for kids, Japanese children, like learning English, which I thought was really cool because I went to some of the schools, but I was basically like at the headquarters office, so I didn't really get to like experience the school aspect. But I was like a recruitment assistant, so basically the company was mainly Japanese, but there was, um, English speaking people who we basically just hired English speaking like native English speakers from around the world to come and like teach in Japan. And then basically I just did a lot of screening and like interviewing, and there was a lot of candidate like a lot applicants, and that actually like really like taught me or showed me how to like look at a good resume, about like what to pick and like what to nitpick and stuff. And the people there were amazing. Like I miss them. Like literally, it was 2 months, but at the end of it, like we low key all cried because I don't know. It was just like so impactful, but also at the same time, I just knew them for 2 months, But it was like that impactful that I literally cried, and they did too.
Were you nervous at all about the fact that it was an internship and the workload or responsibilities that you might have to have while doing it? Or were you just like, I'm ready to go to work and this will be fun?
Yeah, I was kind of like I'm ready to go to work. I wasn't nervous surprisingly. I was just like more excited and ready to like learn. I was really excited to learn more about like the Japanese work culture because it's very different from here. More like strict and like just like very work work work. And but the team that I was on, it was like some people from like I think Puerto Rico, the US, Canada. So like we all kind of like from the same area. They like been in Japan, living in Japan for like a couple years. So like they would tell me like things to do, like how they felt when they first got here and stuff like that. Because it was a lot when you first get there. It's like you don't know. It's just a lot. But I think the workload was it was like perfect. At the end, the only thing that did make me nervous was that I had to come up with like a project for the company and present it in front of the team. And that was like the only thing that I got nervous about, but it went really good and like they kept my idea to like pursue it into the company. So that was really exciting.
Well, hopefully they've kept a hold on that. That is really exciting. But I think also when it comes to presenting at the end of your time, it's like, what are you going to do? Send me back? I'm already going back anyway.
Yeah.
And have
Yeah.
fun with it. But that's good to know that you were just ready and willing to dive into that, because I'm looking at some abroad internships right now, and a lot of my anxiety about it is the work, like what might be expected of me, and not that I can't do it, but I'm just
Yeah.
afraid of like, oh no, I don't want to mess this up, or I don't want to make sure I let these guys down. I don't want to be a bad representative.
Yeah.
We're representing Iowa, you're
Yeah.
representing the US in that. So yeah, going into it, I need to take some of that with me, just going
Yeah.
into it with that more of excitement instead of, oh no, this possible fear of failure that I might have.
Yeah, and, like, you're gonna be it's a different country, a different culture, and they know that, so, like, that kind of helped me, like, feel better too if I did feel nervous at all because, like, they know where I'm coming from, and I told them straight up like, straight when I got there, I'm like, "I don't know anything. I didn't know anything about, like, Japanese culture. I don't know Japanese," but they taught me, like, the most needed words, which literally, like, I only know 2 Japanese words, and they're, like, the most common words. It's say how to say thank you, which is arigato gozaimasu, and sorry or, like, excuse me, which is sumimasen, and literally those 2 words, you basically just need those 2 words to, like
Not bathroom?
Yeah, okay, well, I guess I never thought of that. I just, like, would try to find it myself, but I don't know bathroom
Oh.
or anything else.
I feel like it is pretty indicative, but also if you're in kind of like a smaller place, I don't know, I feel like maybe I would need to know the word for
Yeah,
bathroom.
probably, good idea. But, like, in the workplace, I knew where it was at, like, they taught us, like, they showed us where it was at, so
So, as a like a funny side tangent thing, talking about learning bathroom, obviously you got to learn the word for bathroom, that's
yeah.
important. So, in Spanish, they teach you, Spanish 1, baño is
Mhm.
bathroom. There you go. Easy. Well, the first Spanish speaking country I go to is Spain, and they don't use the word baño. Like they understand baño as the bathroom,
Yeah.
but I'm seeing all of these signs for aseos, and I'm like, aseos, what is that? Where like the baño? And I'm asking like the baño, they mean aseos? I'm like, sure. What is that? And I saw that they would use every word in Spanish for bathroom or referring to bathroom related things
Mhm.
except for baño. They would say aseos, they would say inodoro, they would say water closet, like the English WC abbreviation for water closet was
Huh.
there. And I was like, or they would say servicios. I was like, is it that hard just to say baño? That's the word that everybody who's
Yeah.
coming to your country knows as bathroom. I don't know why Spain does it as aseos, but everywhere else, Spanish speaking that I've been to is
Mhm.
baño. It's easy. So yeah, if you're going to a place where their language is spoken in multiple other countries, be sure you know the country specific one because who knows what you think might be bathroom
Yeah.
might not be bathroom. So if you ever go to Spain, just know that it's aseos and it's not baño.
That's good to know, because I would have just said baño.
Like again, they know, but it's like you
Yeah.
hear it and you're like, what is aseos?
Yeah. I didn't even know that.
The more you know, the more we all know.
Exactly.
So, talking about your internships too, I want to ask about your living situation as well. So, I'm assuming you were in a cohort, right?
It was like a dorm type thing,
Okay.
apartment, yeah.
Who all were you living with, or who all was in this dorm apartment?
So it was basically like an apartment setting, so we all had our own room, and like within the room was like the bathroom. We had like our own like little fridge, microwave, sink, closet, bed, desk. But as for like a kitchen, it was all like shared. I didn't really do a lot of cooking because why would I? But
You're in Japan, man. Eat,
exactly.
eat, eat.
Exactly. Yeah, it was, like, nice. I had, like, a balcony. It was, like, a beautiful view that I had. But, yeah, it was, like, the right amount of, like, space that I had. It was kinda small, but, like, a lot of Japanese apartments are small too, so and I felt fine. It was good. Good.
Did you have roommates?
I did not, no.
Did you have floor mates?
Yes, there was so it was, like, a really tall, like, apartment building. Um, so there was, like also living there were, like, students Japanese students that were going to, like, the university, so it was, like, all of us living together in that complex.
My friend who went to Japan twice, when he went the first time, he also was in kind of a similar thing where there were people from international universities that were coming to study at whichever one, but there were also Japanese students there.
Mhm.
And he met someone who was an Uzbek from Uzbekistan
Ooh.
who was there. And he said that that was the most interesting international student that he had met. So shout outs to the Uzbek uh, there. I think that, and he got along, or he So he's a big baseball fan. Him and I do a lot of baseball content on YouTube, but
Mm.
he watches Japanese baseball a lot more than I do. But he said him and the Japanese students would go and watch their equivalent of the World Series whenever it was on when he was there, and that was a really fun experience. Even though they weren't a part of the same program, they had no
Yeah.
reason to be together. They just came together because of that.
Well, speaking of baseball, the famous like Dodger Japanese players, I I always forget his
Shohei
name.
Ohtani.
Yes, he was everywhere. Like, oh my goodness, like everywhere. Which honestly I didn't mind at all, but it was just like so cool to see like how much he's loved over there. And like when I came back, I, still saw him everywhere here too. So he like it's funny because it's just like it followed me. And then like a couple months after I came back from Japan, I went to LA. Obviously, you're going to see him everywhere again, but I got more interested in like the Dodger or like them specifically because like they like they're funny. Like I just like think it's so cool how like they love baseball and like baseball's not really a big thing over in Japan. Which I think I don't know.
It is a big thing.
Oh,
It's okay. It's okay.
well, whoops.
We don't perceive it as a big thing, but
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah. But that was really cool seeing him like literally everywhere and how much he's loved. And yeah, he's a really good baseball player, so
he's probably going to be the GOAT when all is said and done. He's probably going to be the GOAT. I want to ask now, kind of like you said, you saw Shohei Ohtani everywhere. Does not surprise me.
yeah.
But other than going to your internship and just kind of going around, what's a day in the life in Tokyo for you? What are you going around and seeing? Where are the places that you're going?
As to like where I travel to or
Just
like
like when you're around in the city, either after work or when you
mm,
have free time,
oh,
where are you
okay.
going? What are you seeing?
So I had the weekends off. I had Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and it was like really hot and humid, but I was like I'm not going to let that stop me because I'm literally in Japan, so I'm just going to suck it up, which I did. And I lived like right and like I lived actually in like a little town where it was mainly like there was like no tourists. It was just like basically like the people that came over from like study abroad, the college students. So I didn't really run into a lot of tourists while living there, but I went to see like the Tokyo Tower. I went to Shibuya, the Shibuya crossing, which was really cool. It's not as big as I thought. Like it's still huge and so many people, but I thought it'd be bigger, but
You said you've never been to New York, so I'm going to ruin Times Square for you, but it's the same equivalent. It's
really?
like it's not as big
Yeah.
or as important as you think it is.
Yeah, it was still really cool, but yeah, it wasn't as big as I thought. So, I saw the Hachiko statue, which I don't know if you know who that. It's a dog. I think you may know the story, but it's basically a dog that would follow his owner to the train station in Shibuya every day when he went to work, and then the dog would go back home, and then or I think so, and then he would come back waiting for his owner to get back from work. But one day his owner like passed away, at work or something like that, so he never came back. And Hachiko like would wait for him and like would come back every day, and they made a statue for him, which I was like, oh, that's so sad but so
I did
cute.
not know that. You're going to make me cry. That's
Yeah,
so sweet.
and like the line or like people wanted to take pictures with him obviously, and I took a picture of it
Oh.
because there were so many people around. But yeah, I thought that story was so cute and like it was nice. But I also thrifting's a really big thing in Japan, so I went thrifting a lot. It was kind of expensive because but when I was there I saw a University of Iowa sweater.
No way.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, like I took a picture of it obviously. Harajuku is like it's like famous for unique fashion and pop culture. It's like a street, oh, it's a town, but it's like a street of like a bunch of like shops and stuff, which is really cool. The crepes there are really delicious. I met Bretman Rock. I don't know if you know who that is.
I can't say that I do. Sorry.
Oh my god, yeah, no, he's like a famous YouTuber. I saw him and I didn't want to say it because I've never seen someone famous in my life before, and I didn't know if it was him or not, and I didn't want to like go up to him and be like, "Is this you?" and then be like, "No," but I did because I'm like, I'm gonna regret it. So I went up to him, I'm like, "Sorry if it's not you, but are you Bretman Rock?" And he was like, "Yeah," and he was so nice, and he was also with like other YouTubers like Alicia Marie and like Remy and some other people. So it was really nice to like. Cause like I grew up watching like Alicia Marie and stuff on YouTube, so it was just so crazy to meet them there. I went to like Yokohama, which was really cool. They have like one of the biggest Chinatowns in the world. I went to Kamakura, which is like where the beach is at. I went to Ginza, which is like famous for like their shopping district, like really fancy stores and shops and stuff like that. I know you mentioned this earlier before we started, Don Quixote. That store, it's like you're gonna walk in at some point. Like it's literally everywhere, and they're like huge. Some are like 7 floors, and like they literally have everything. And the one in Shibuya is really packed. It was so bad, but that store is awesome.
Shout outs to Don Quixote and their theme song too.
Oh my god, yeah, it will get stuck in your head because it plays all the time.
It is an absolute earworm. I heard it twice and I was like, oh, this is going to be stuck in here till I die, right?
Yeah, it's like, don, Quixote. Yeah.
Yeah. Their mascot's a penguin, not Don Quixote related at all. It's honestly more of a Club Penguin looking mascot than anything. But I feel like I've asked people this before and I've never gotten an answer. But like, why is it called Don Quixote? Like, of all things to name your store after, a medieval Spanish novel?
Oh, really?
Question mark? Like,
I don't know.
I need to find that out. I need to go look that up whenever we're done.
Yeah. And I think they're like open 24 hours because I went in one at 5 a.m.
Nice.
So.
Hey, look, we've all been in Walmart parking lots at terrible hours of the morning, so it's okay. There's no shame in that.
Yeah, and it was just, it was cool. And speaking of time, Japan has trains, obviously. You know, a lot of people use train as their form of transportation. Well, those trains stop at 12 a.m. every day. So if you're out past that and you need to go home, you know, you can call an Uber or taxi. They're so expensive, like $100+ just to get back. So most people, I found this out, which is really interesting. Most people, if they do, they either stay out all night or they go get karaoke room because karaoke is very popular over there. And they'll stay in there till the morning, till the first train, because it's just like a room. You know, you can sleep in there. It's so much cheaper than a freaking Uber or taxi. I didn't do that, but I just stayed up all night. So, yeah. But that was very interesting because I was like, oh, like I can just Uber back home, you know, not to worry. Well, then my coworkers were like, yeah, you don't want to miss that train. So, which is very surprising as to why they have a time cut.
I don't know. We don't got time to be partying. Everybody gotta be asleep so we can get up to go right back to work in the morning. If it's as strict as you said, like we gotta go.
It was the weekend.
Oh, on the weekend? That's terrible.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was like 5 a.m. There were so many people out and about at 5 a.m. And I was just like waiting for the train. I got on the train and went home.
Okay.
Yeah, like I was just like, well, that was really freaking fun.
I had similar frustrations when I was in Chile because the metro weekdays and weekends, 11 p.m. was when it closed. That was so annoying.
Yeah.
They only had extended weekend hours for like a couple of holidays, and that was it. But it was 11 p.m. every day.
Yeah.
And you can't go out and do anything fun because then you're like, oh, and I mean, Ubers are fine there. It's not expensive, but I don't want to have to take an Uber really, really late at night. I'd rather just be able to take the train. But 11? Ugh.
Yeah. That was like, what the heck? And like when you went to Spain or Chile, in Japan, those trains get jam-packed. Like, I don't know if you've seen those videos of like, yeah, it's exactly like that. So like every morning, during like rush hour, like for me to go to work, it was crazy. I would get like smushed. You know, I mean, I understand that everyone wants to get to work, you know, but the train literally comes like every 5 minutes. So and every train's full. Every train's full.
Being in the biggest city in the world will kind of do that to you.
And yeah, that's another thing. It's the biggest biggest city in the world population wise, and yeah, it's huge.
A lot of human beings there.
Yeah. Speaking of a lot of people, one of the train stations that I went to, I think it's called the Shinjuku. It's in Shinjuku train station. It's like one of the biggest train stations in the world. It's not the biggest, but it's the busiest train station in the world, I think. And there's so many people. I got lost in it. And I like after I like went back to work and told my coworkers about like my experience getting lost. They're like, "Oh yeah, everyone gets lost in that train station." I'm like, it just seemed like it kept going down and down and down. Like, there was so many, like, floors, and I was kind of freaking out. But, obviously I'm here, so I made it back. So
There's a station in Paris, it's called Châtelet, and it's also notorious for that because it's a combination station of, I think, 4 or 5 different lines, and you are super deep, but then there's also, I think, 40 exits depending on where you wanna go
yeah.
out of this station, and it's impossible to navigate through. So anytime I saw that I would have to get off or route through Châtelet, I was like,
Yeah.
we're taking a different one because I am not having to deal with that because everybody comes through there. Again, it's at the intersection of 4 or 5 lines.
Yeah.
Everybody is there. Everyone's also equally lost too.
Yeah.
Even though I'm sure some of these people have been here before, like they're all equally lost at the same time. So we're all just kind of wandering and hoping one of us gets our head above ground.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I'm not a fan of those big stations like that. But you
Mm.
were talking about the train crowding.
Mhm.
I have just a little bit of a hack in that I go to places with trains where I'm taller on average than the general population. So it's still
It's
really
nice to
crowded,
breathe.
but I have my head above water so I can breathe and I
Yeah.
can kind of like see everything. But I can imagine that it's not great when you're
No.
unable to see or get your head out for your own proper air and instead
Yeah.
you're breathing everybody else's air.
Yeah, I was literally like, I would look up and, like, there's just, like, heads. And I'm like, "Okay, yeah." But, that happens.
There was one time my friend and I, when we were in Spain, we went to Barcelona and it was like the middle of the summer. So it was so hot, but
Mm,
also peak tourists.
mm.
And it's still to this day, and I've been on metros in a whole bunch of different places. To this day, the most crowded I have ever been. I had not 1 millimeter of personal space. My chin was in one guy's shoulder and then another guy was behind me and his chin was in my shoulder. We were crammed up against the back of the car.
Mhm.
The door couldn't even open because we were all so together that it messed with the automatics of the door. And
Uh,
then the windows, there wasn't enough room for us to move the windows down anymore to get any air in because people were standing there. And it wasn't
oh.
like people were getting on and off either because this particular route, we were all going to the same place. It goes to the top of one of the hills
Mhm.
on the outskirts of Barcelona. So we're all going to the same place. And it's like 9 stops of us sitting here. There's no air. It's well over 95 degrees
Yeah.
outside. There's
Oh my
at
gosh.
least 100 people packed into a singular car, if not more. And again, I'm taller than most people on average, but that was the closest I've ever thought I was going to suffocate.
Oh.
It was so bad in there. And then when we all got off, we all just kind of fell out. No one walked out. The door finally got itself
Oh.
pried open and we just fell out. It never, ever, 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 ever again.
That sounds miserable.
Yeah.
Well, because at least in Japan, the carts had air conditioning.
Mhm.
Like, so that was fine. That was, like, perfect. But I cannot imagine that.
Well, it
Ugh.
got so bad that our sweat was starting to condensate all over the walls. So the
Oh.
air was not only hot, but it was starting to get humid from all of our sweat.
Oh my gosh.
But like you said, you're alive and you're here, right?
Exactly.
I'm alive and I'm here.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
That I cannot imagine that.
I love public transportation, but it's those like one times, where it's
Yeah.
oh, you just wish you had your own car with air conditioning and it's nice.
At least you were tall.
Yeah. Yeah, at least
That's the only good thing that you had there.
that's the tip, everyone, is be taller than most everyone else, and then public transportation's not nearly as bad.
Still bad.
So let's talk. So you kind of you were showing us around some of the good spots of Tokyo.
Mhm.
Let's talk food.
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited.
This is one of my favorite parts in
Yes.
any episode. I want to hear all about the food. Best things, worst things, weirdest things. Give us the food rundown.
Okay, so first I will talk about, like, actual food. I literally ate I literally ate whatever was, like, served. I didn't know what it was. I still don't know, like, I couldn't tell you what I ate. I wish I did, but I literally just ate everything, so I wanted to try everything. And I wasn't I not typically someone to get scared of eating something that I won't like, so it was fine. A lot of it was, like, obviously raw fish, so I was like, "Oh, I wanna try it." But the food was delicious. The only thing, and this is, like, I hate saying this, but I didn't really like the sushi.
That's a crazy take.
Ugh. Like, it was good, but I think I'm just so used to the sushi here, it's still, like, Japanese, but, it's
I grew up on Hy-Vee sushi, man.
and
To
that's
me, that's
good!
the peak. I love
I
Hy-Vee
do too,
sushi.
that stuff is so good, but I think it was because the seaweed over there was really salty. It was really salty, so I was like, "Ugh, I can't eat this," but it was still good, like, I won't say it was bad. Ate, like, eel a lot, it was really good. I mean, like, I pretended I didn't know what it was, but yeah, it was still good. But now for, like, the fun part, what I was excited about is, like, the 7-Eleven and, like, the convenience stores. Oh my gosh, I was so excited because I would like, even before I chose Japan or even thought about going anywhere, I would always see TikToks, right, of the food, like 7-Eleven food, and it was like, "Oh my gosh," like, I could never imagine, like, I could never imagine being, like, in Japan and eating that stuff, and then I was. But I would go to 7-Eleven, like, every day. They had so many good, like, food, like, sandwiches, like, they had my favorite one of my favorite snacks from there was or it was a drink, but I they had, like, little vanilla ice cream, it was called Coolish, and then they had matcha drinks, so I would mix it in together. It was so delicious. It was so good, and, like, all the food there was delicious. Like, I didn't know what the heck I was eating, like, I was like, what to expect because I couldn't read it, and I was like, this looks good," from the, like, picture on it. I'm like, "Okay, I'm gonna try it," and everything was good.
So you could be eating lizard tongue and
Yeah.
cow hooves, and you would have no idea because it was so good.
Yeah, and if it looks good, Imma eat it. So, yeah, but also, like, I know this is, Chinese, but they had tanghulu? I think that's how you say it, but they had so many of this, like, everywhere in Japan, and it was just so delicious, so I it's like fruit or, like, stuff, like, covered with, like, sugar, I think, or melted sugar or something like that. I don't know, it was delicious. It was on a stick. And then fluffy pancakes. Yeah, those were delicious too.
Break down the fluffy pancakes. I can't say I've ever heard pancakes in Japan being associated.
Yeah, like, they were like, big and, like, fluffy and, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, seen, like, a lot of pictures of, like, fluffy pancakes, so I was like, "Ooh, I wanna go." So I just, like, randomly went to this, like, restaurant, and I was like, "Oh, I'll get this." And, it was delicious.
Did you run across any of, like, the fun or weird vending machines that they
Mm.
had? Because my friend, I think he told me he got udon noodles and, like, a whole udon dish from a vending machine one time, and that was crazy to him.
Yeah, that's another thing. There are so many vending machines literally everywhere. Literally, like, the most random spots. There's vending machines, which is great, but, like, on the corner of on the corner that you would just find, like, freaking vending machines, which I thought was, like, really funny, and, like, they had so many different drinks. It was mainly, like, drinks, the ones that I would see, but, like, they were everywhere, and I just don't know how, like, they get, like, stored, like, like, how who goes out there and fills them up, but
Sticking beef udon in a
yeah.
vending machine.
It was crazy, but that was something else that I, like, remembered. But they also had I don't know what they're called. They're like those little, I think, gotcha. I don't remember what they were called, but they're like little machines that you, like, put money in, like, you know, twist it, crank it, and get a toy or prize. There was a lot of those, like, a little machines, like, I don't know how to they have a
I
name.
forget what the name of those are, but I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
those were really popular too. Like, they were everywhere, like, on every corner, like, you would get one, and, like, I got a lot of them because, like, there were some cute, like, things, like, miniature stuff, and, like, they had, like, arcades full of them too. Arcades is another thing that's really popular there, and I went to them, and it was cool.
Did you have Kit Kats at all? Because I
Oh,
know all of the Kit Kat
yes.
flavors there are crazy.
Yes, that I forgot about that. Thank you for bringing that up. Yeah, so, every time I found a pack of, like, Kit Kats that was, like, different or whatever, I would buy it. I didn't, like, care if it was good or not, or, like, if it looked, non-appet like, I just bought it because I was like, "I wanna taste it." So I
Green
brought
bean
back
flavored Kit Kats. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna buy it. I wanna try it, and so I brought, like, bags of Kit Kats home, and I tried them, and I mean, they're all gone now, obviously. But my favorite one was the, gold, Kit Kats. Those were so good.
What did the gold ones taste like?
I don't
Wealth?
Yeah. I don't yeah, you know, I don't know. Like, they just tasted really freaking good. Can't really think of the other ones that I liked. Those are really cool to see. And just, like, all the snacks in general, like, there was okay, so there's, like, 7-Eleven, there's Family Mart, and Lawson's, and all 3 of them, like, have the same stuff, basically. Like, sushi, sandwiches. 7-Eleven has, like, those smoothie makers.
Yes.
Yes, so that was cool. I loved the smoothies there. Grocery shopping, though, was a little difficult. I didn't find, like, a big grocery store till, like, later in my internship. I only went to, like, a corner grocery store, but when I found that big grocery store, it was, like, a 15-minute walk, so I was like, "I can't, like, buy so much stuff." I ended up buying a lot,
We was
and
shopping. We
yeah,
was shopping.
and it was kind of I regretted it because I had to stop, like, every 5 minutes to, like, wipe my sweat because it was so hot, but you know what? I made it home and glad I got all that food.
I had the only weird Kit Kat flavor that I had weird, quote unquote, I think was the green tea ones,
Mhm,
or the matcha flavored ones. One of the
mhm.
two, same thing. They're not, don't care, same thing to me.
Yeah.
It was all right, but that's another thing that I'm so anxious to try whenever I
Yeah.
go is I want every Kit Kat under the sun.
Yes, and you'll find them everywhere.
If there's like, I don't know, wheat thin flavored ones, I need it. Like bread Kit Kats, absolutely. That sounds amazing.
I'm trying to think of the weirdest one, but I can't think of I did try the matcha. It wasn't my favorite, but actually, speaking of matcha, I had never tasted matcha before I went to Japan because I don't know why, I just didn't, but when I got there, it was, like, literally my favorite drink ever, and I'm so sad that I got that as my first experience, like, the top tier matcha, and then I came home and it's like,
And then you
it's
have to have
good,
Iowa matcha.
yeah, but, like, Starbucks matcha is alright, it's just not the same at all. It's delicious, it was so good.
All right, so I want to ask you about traveling that you did,
Mhm.
both within Japan and out of Japan if you went out of Japan, because you said you had Friday, Saturday, Sunday off. So obviously, we
Yeah.
got to go hit everything we can possibly see. What did you do? And first and foremost, did you go to that one temple that has all the deer in it?
I did not, but I did go to a what's it called? A cat garden type thing. I can't think of the name of it, but it was like I don't know. It was like just a bunch of like cat like it wasn't the cat island because there is an island in Japan that has like a bunch of cats roaming around, which would have been awesome, and I wanted to go, but I didn't. It was just like a cat like I mean a town where or a spot where like they just like have a lot of different like cat statues and stuff like that. And then I also went to a cat town where like it was that was really cool because I love cats. I love cats. And that was another thing that was really hard is like leaving my cat for 2 months, but I got her back. But yeah, that was really cool. But I did go to the Tokyo National Museum, so that was really cool and a fun time. I went to the Tokyo Metro government building, and it's I would really recommend this because it's free. You can go all the way to the top of the building because it's really big. I mean high, and the view is beautiful. Like, and it's free. So I definitely recommend doing that. In like Yokohama, they have that big Ferris wheel. It's very beautiful. I saw Mount Fuji from there, like very far away. Speaking of Mount Fuji, I wanted to go, but it was like cloudy every day, so you wouldn't have been able to see it really.
Oof,
Because I think it's only like visible 52 days out of the year.
that's unfortunate.
Yeah. Oh, another thing that I was really cool was I got invited to the U.S. Embassy in Japan because of a scholarship that I received that everyone should apply for is the Gilman Scholarship. They are very helpful, and I got to speak to the U.S. Like Department of State of Study Abroad. Her name is Heidi Manley, I think, and she spoke to some of the other people that received that scholarship, which is really cool. And then from there, I met like some friends, and it was a good time. I went to a Latino club, not
Okay.
club, cafe.
And what was that like?
It was like good because it like reminded me of back home, And then I also did go. Oh, I did go to like type bar, like yeah, it was like Mexican bar, and it was just like to me it was kind of crazy. It's like, how the heck did we get all the way to Japan? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, this feels literally just like Mexico, or like just like. So I'm like, how the heck did we get here? And like they were playing Mexican music, my favorite type of music, and it was just a good time, just like to know that you have people like literally every type of people everywhere. You just you wouldn't think, but yeah.
I didn't know about there being a large enough Mexican population in Tokyo. I assumed that there would probably be some Mexicans there. The biggest one, did you see Brazilians? Because the most Brazilians outside of Brazil are in Japan.
Really?
Yeah, there's
Huh.
a lot of Brazilians in Japan and in Tokyo too. Why? No idea, but that's kind of how it is.
I did see a lot of like tourists that did speak Spanish, so maybe they were, but it was Spanish, not like Portuguese.
Hmm.
But I don't know. It was just a good time, and like I was dancing, and it was just amazing.
Well, in a city of almost 25 million people, you're bound to find
Yeah,
every culture, everything somewhere, and you can find your own little niche. You just kind
yeah,
of have to look hard enough.
yeah, and it's just like oh, like everyone's like around you speaking Japanese, and like you hear Spanish, and you're like, oh, who's speaking that? I know what you're talking about. Like, and it's just like comforting, I guess. It was just like cool. Yeah, that's kind of like what I did.
Did you go outside of Japan?
I did not. I wanted to. I wanted to go to I didn't want to go to South Korea, but I wanted to go to China. You know, it was like really close and the plane tickets were really cheap. But like we talked about, like it was just 2 days, a weekend was not worth it, you know?
Yeah, you need months, years to go see all of China.
Exactly.
It's definitely something I'd like to do someday. Well, I know you had said that you had written some of this down and you were kind of ready to talk about that, but what were the biggest challenges that you had? But then using those challenges, what is the biggest advice that you would give to people looking to study or intern in Japan?
Yeah, so one of my biggest challenges was obviously like the language barrier, because it was quite different. But the good thing about that is that a lot of signs, especially like in the stations, were also in English. So that was really helpful. And you know, if they weren't, you could just Google Translate it. At first, at the beginning, when I got there, transportation was something else that I was kind of scared because I didn't know where I was going, and sometimes Google Maps or Apple Maps both like mess you up and mess up sometimes, or like you lose connection. So that freaked me out a little bit, but then I got used to it. Another one was the time difference from the US. So I was 14 hours ahead of like here in Iowa. So if I wanted to speak or like talk to my boyfriend, like I would have to talk to him. If I would talk to him while I was getting up for work and he was like kind of getting off work or like the evening for him, and then I would when he would wake up, it would be like time for me to go to bed. So that was kind of difficult, or like when I wanted to talk to my like mom or dad, but you know, you like figure it out. And then the weather. Literally, like anytime someone's like, "Oh, like how was Japan?" I'm like, "It was awesome, great," but
Hot.
it's really freaking hot and humid. But other than that, it's great. Next time I would go in the spring. So
Definitely go when you're not going to boil alive.
yeah, it was crazy. But advice from that is I conquered it, and I like found ways to like stay cool. I bought literally everything. A lot of people use hand fans, so if you are going to Japan in the summer, you have to have a hand fan. Everyone has it. I bought mine over there, but and cooling wipes, a rag. Everyone carries a rag to wipe their sweat because they're gonna sweat. But yeah, but my advice to go into Japan for the first time is really just go with an open mind because it's going to be different than what you're used to, especially if you've never been around a bunch of people or like if you never like gone on public transportation other than like buses, because it's obviously quite different. Like train stations are completely different. But I would go in with an open mind, and honestly, the biggest piece of advice is just follow what other people are doing and like see what they're doing and like adapt to that, or like they're walking on this side. Oh, because walking on the escalators, if you're gonna go up and you want to stand, you have to stand on the left side. But if you're gonna walk up the escalator going up, you walk up on the right side.
That's interesting because it's usually the opposite.
Yeah. So when I got back, I was like, oh my gosh, like people are going everywhere because over there it's like so organized and like they know what way they're going, and like it's just, and like here it's just like all a mess. I'm like, you guys are supposed to go this way. But yeah, that was interesting too. I guess that was, yeah. It's kind of easy to like adapt to like your surroundings because you'll know if you feel out of place.
a real when in Rome, do as the Romans do kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's kinda easy. It was good. It was a good experience. And, like, there was a couple times where I was embarrassed. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed," but they're not gonna remember you.
That's a part of the study abroad experience. If
Mhm.
you aren't mortally embarrassed at least once in your time abroad, then you did it wrong.
Yeah, 'cause
That
you
or you're from there.
yeah,
But
you're gonna get embarrassed at least a couple times, but it's okay. It's you'll experience embarrassment in another country, so it's okay. And another thing actually about that is, like, why I chose Japan or why I was so glad I chose Japan was because, like I said, I didn't know the culture or the language, but that to me helped me understand the perspective of my parents when they came to the US because they didn't know, like, the culture or language as well, so, like, they were, like, very confused, very, like, they didn't know anything, so that's how I felt, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, like, how did the heck did they navigate this?" Having kids already. I don't know how I would navigate living in Japan with, like, 2 kids. I don't know, but that was, like, one of my favorite pieces of, like, all of it was seeing that and, like, living that experience, I guess.
again, it's a great exercise in being the outsider and really gaining empathy and insight into the experience of millions of people around the world, probably
Yeah.
billions of people around the world and what they have to go through.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's a great way to find out or, like, to experience that.
And hopefully not with kids, but hey, if you do it with kids,
Yeah,
more power to you.
exactly.
So, I want to wrap us up here. I want to first say thank you so much for enlightening us on having
Yes.
fun interning in Tokyo and just getting to talk Japan a little bit. I want to go so badly. I really, really want to go.
And you should go,
And
definitely.
I've never been there, but I agree with you. Everyone should go to Japan. Everyone should go to Tokyo. Um, but I want to give this time for you to talk to us about what you're doing here on campus, what organizations you're part of, things you want people to know that Lucy Hernandez is doing right now.
So I am part of this study abroad peer mentorship. So I will do all my willpower to promote Japan because it's awesome, and I will forever have a piece of Japan in my heart. And like that's what everyone says, and I never understood that. I was like, okay, it's a country, like what? Until I experience it, and like now, if I see something on TV for Japan, I'm like, oh my god, like I know what that is, like. So it's really cool. So that, and then I'm also part of the student society or the society of management SHRM. It's like basically a human resources club because that is what I want to go into after I graduate, and it's very helpful. And
Hey, if you're in on human resource focused careers, hit Lucy up.
yes.
Lucy, one last question for you. What is the one song that defined your study abroad experience?
So my song
If you
is
have multiple, that's okay.
no, I have one specific
One
one
song, okay.
that instantly takes me back to Japan. It's not anything related to Japan, but it's called Veritas Kyo by Daft Punk. There's no words to it. It's just music. And every time I hear it, it just brings me back. I don't know why. I didn't know this song until I think I was over there and it came on like Smart Shuffle or something. And I was like, "Oh, this song's really cool." And I listened to it like all the time. And it's such a good beat song. I love it and it just reminds me of Japan. So, yeah. And it forever will.
And it feels like Japan. Again, finding the stories of how people came to their songs and why, because yeah, they don't have to have anything to deal with Japan or the song being in Japanese.
Yeah.
It's just whatever hits right at that moment. But Lucy, thank you so much for sharing with all of us. Thank you, all of you guys, for listening. We will see you wherever and whenever in the world.